Good evening, everyone. This is Melissa Thomas with Florida National News coming to you with the evening news rundown for your Tuesday, August 4th, 2020. Thank you for tuning in. And as always, we'd like to extend an invitation to any business owners or advertisers or sponsors looking for a platform which to promote your company. Just shoot us an email at ads@floridanationalnews.com to learn more and to get started. Now, we're going to start things a little bit differently with this newscast with a little bit of breaking news. Roughly 4 hours ago, there was a massive explosion in Beirut, Lebanon, that took place. And as you can see from the footage here, this was something that obviously shocked everyone that was over there. And according to the city's governor, Marwan Aboud, he said the scene reminded him of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Of course, those were the two Japanese sites that were bombed with atomic bombs. So far, this particular bombing in Beirut has injured over 2,500 people. And so far, reports are saying that at least 25 people have been killed. CNN is reporting that, this was a bombing that took place in the capital, sent a huge mushroom cloud up. You guys saw the shockwave. It flipped cars and damaged massive distant buildings. And the impact from the explosion was so strong that it was felt as far away as Cyprus, which was roughly hundreds of miles away. So this is a very strong bomb. And we'll continue to give you guys updates as this story continues to develop. But we wanted to make sure to give you that update. Now, per usual, we will get into our COVID-19 updates globally here in the United States and in the state of Florida. So globally speaking, the World Health Organization is reporting over 18.1 million confirmed cases of COVID-19 and over 691,000 confirmed deaths. Here in the United States, Johns Hopkins University is reporting over 4.7 million confirmed cases and over 156,000 confirmed deaths. Here in the state of Florida, the Department of Health is reporting over 497,000 confirmed cases and over 7,400 confirmed deaths. Now, jumping into our world story today, our other world story today, Greece is now making masks mandatory on board the decks of ferries sailing to its islands, which of course extends their current mask mandate, which extends to folks attending indoor spaces in the public. So if you're venturing out in the public and you're in Greece, you have to wear a mask, whether you go inside a store or if you're outdoors. But now they've extended it to any ferries coming into the islands as well. And this was an announcement made as of yesterday by a government spokesman. Now, the mask mandate started last week for the indoor and outdoor spaces, and now the ferry edition began today. As of Saturday, the country reported 110 new cases, which is the highest single-day spike that Greece experienced in several weeks. Now, the new measure with the masks on the ferries will go into effect today and will last until August 18th as the summer holiday season hits its peak there. Greece in total has so far a confirmed total of over 4,600 confirmed cases and 208 deaths, which is relatively low in Europe compared to other European nations, but they still want to make sure to remain careful. And they had imposed an early lockdown back in the spring, just as much of the world did as well. Now, jumping here to the United States, Dr. Fauci has weighed in on the school reopening measures and how that should happen. And he says schools and college campuses across the country should be okay to reopen, but officials need to proceed with caution and make safety a priority. Now, there are two big reasons that he said schools should go back to in-person learning. And this was during a press conference on Monday. He said students need the psychological and nutritional benefits of being in school, and parents may have to dramatically modify their work schedule. So he says the primary consideration should always be the safety, the health and welfare of the children, as well as the teachers, and the secondary effects for spreading to the parents and other family members. Now, on college campuses, he's saying that testing will have to be the key to reopening. He said plans should include testing people before they arrive on campus, when they arrive, and in keeping in quarantine for 14 days. And he said, colleges should proceed with caution. He said, quote, if done properly, it would not be a risk. But then again, you've got to be careful when you get people coming in from outside. But I think if they maintain the guidelines that are put together for people coming back, that they should be fine. So at least he's given the okay for schools to reopen. He just says safety first. So give us your thoughts as well. That leads us to our audience question. What do you think of his advice? What do you think of the current mask mandates? Do you think kids are going to be able to, adhere to that, particularly with their level of energy, their eagerness to reconnect with other students? Give us your thoughts either way. Let us know what you think on this whole discussion of schools reopening and the mask mandate. All right. Now, jumping here to the state of Florida, you guys will likely remember several weeks ago when we reported that an Orlando fire department had actually had a COVID-19 outbreak in their department. Now, they have since recovered from the COVID-19 outbreak and are now donating their plasma. The fire department teamed up with One Blood for a plasma drive where firefighters and their family members who recovered can donate plasma. Now, Susan Forbes, who's with One Blood, said, quote, "As the cases surge throughout our service area, the need for convalescent plasma has reached new heights." Now, One Blood says it has seen a 500% increase in hospital orders for plasma. And Orlando Fire Lieutenant Jeremy Cataret worked with One Blood to set up the plasma drive specifically for firefighters and their families after the outbreak in the department where some 110 firefighters and staff had tested positive for COVID-19. Now, Lieutenant Cataret says the department is taking social distancing and mask wearing even more seriously to prevent any more spread. And you guys always hear our exhortation here at Florida National News. Continue to guard your hands, wash them, glove them, sanitize them, wear your mask, and practice safe social distancing. In the meantime, we're going to take a quick commercial break and come back with some more stories for you.
Big business and special interest groups have begun their attacks on Rick Singh on social media, radio, television. They want to make sure he's no longer in office. Have someone, anyone but Rick Singh in office. And the reason is simple. They don't want to pay their fair share and expect you to pay it for them. Now, the question is, do you want to pay it for them?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Thank you for continuing to stick with us. Now, jumping into our next U.S. story, President Trump signed an executive order on Monday to expand access to telehealth services for the 57 million Americans in underserved rural areas and elsewhere after virtual visits, of course, ballooned after the COVID-19 pandemic due to social distancing and the quarantine. President Trump said the new order would ensure that telehealth services expanded during the pandemic would remain in place even after the public health emergency ended. He also directed the Department of Health and Human Services to cut regulatory burdens and develop a new payment model that allows rural providers to waive some existing Medicare rules and ensure more predictable financial payments. Now, Americans in rural areas are typically more likely to die of 5 leading causes of death, such as cancer and heart disease, than their urban counterparts, according to the White House, due to transportation challenges, shortages of healthcare workers, and a decreasing number of hospitals, diminishing access to good care. So President Trump called for officials to develop within 30 days, a specific plan to boost investment in the communications infrastructure needed to boost rural healthcare, and a separate report on ways to improve overall healthcare in rural areas, reduce maternal deaths, and improve mental health. So we'll continue to keep you guys updated on that. Now, jumping back here to the state of Florida, a little bit of trouble in Osceola County. Governor Ron DeSantis has signed an executive order suspending an Osceola County Commissioner, Fred Hawkins, who has been running for State House District 42. And he was originally elected in 2008 as commissioner and reelected for 2 additional terms. But according to officials, Mr. Hawkins attempted to get into an election of the Turnberry Reserve Homeowners Association, even though he was not a member. According to the FDLE, the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, the report said a security guard had stopped Mr. Hawkins from entering the room, but Hawkins showed credentials and claimed that he was with the sheriff's office before threatening to arrest the guard. Officials with the Osceola Sheriff's Office said Hawkins is a special deputy, which is an honorary title. So Hawkins does not have the power to arrest anyone and is not certified as a law enforcement officer in Florida. So as of now, the state attorney's office will prosecute the case. The plot thickens. We'll continue to keep you updated. In the meantime, we're going to take another quick commercial break and come back with your business and sports stories.
I'm not picking it up. You pick it up.
I'm not picking it up.
Well, somebody's got to pick it up.
I'll pick it up. They're clean. 'Cause my hand is clean. Oh yeah, I'm Charmin Clean. That's how I know they're clean.
Charmin Ultra Strong is woven like a washcloth and just cleans better.
Yeah, I'm Charmin Clean.
The kid does have a
That's
point.
My hand is clean.
Enjoy the go with Charmin. And for an extra clean finish, try Charmin Flushable Wipes.
Guys, welcome back. Jumping into your business story, Wawa is going to build a drive-through only convenience store. Of course, you guys are likely now familiar with Wawa. It's been building up everywhere, but they're now testing a new store format as people look for contactless ways to shop during the pandemic. So Wawa is announcing an 1850 square foot, 1,850 square foot store that is expected to open in December in Falls Township, Pennsylvania. It's one of two drive-through locations that are planned this year. The other one will be in West Hampton, New Jersey. So be on the lookout if you're in those areas. Now, at the Pennsylvania store, shoppers will pull up to a drive-through to place their order, and a Wawa employee will process the payment and hand over their items. Kind of like a fast food restaurant. If the drive-through line gets too long or if someone has a large order, customers will be directed to curbside parking where the order is brought out to the car. Again, very similar to drive-through kind of fast food restaurants. Now, Wawa, which operates 900 stores nationwide, said the idea for the drive-through store was already in the works prior to the COVID-19 outbreak, but it accelerated its plans to test the concept as the virus continued to spread in the US. Now, Wawa plans to expand the drive-through concept to other locations if it's successful. So we'll definitely keep you updated on that, particularly for our Florida residents, because there are Wawa locations all over the state of Florida. Now, jumping down to your sports story very briefly, another Major League Baseball update. The Field of Dreams game in Iowa is now postponed to 2021 due to COVID-19. And there's a key reason for that. Now, the game was supposed to take place at a newly constructed ballpark on the cornfield adjacent to the site of the 1989 movie of the same name and was scheduled for August 13th in Dyersville. The Chicago White Sox was originally set to host the New York Yankees. And once Major League Baseball made the modifications to the 2020 season, the White Sox were set to play the St. Louis Cardinals. This is why that is now postponed, because as you guys have heard us update, the St. Louis Cardinals has had their games postponed due to COVID-19 as well. There is a small outbreak on their team. So the MLB will keep the White Sox as one of the teams for the game next year. The other team that's going to replace the St. Louis Cardinals has not yet been determined. But Casey will bring you a lot more of that tonight when she comes with the FNN Sports Take at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. In the meantime, we're going to take another quick commercial break and come back with the lovely Jamesia Stoudemire with your Entertainment 4 for 4.
It takes experience to know the difference in property values. For example, this business is not the same as this business. And this house is definitely not the same as this house. And this, well, this is definitely not the same as this. And that's why it's important to have someone who understands true property appraisals to help our community grow, while making sure everyone pays their fair share. Because experience matters. Re-elect Rick Singh for Orange County Property Appraiser.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Evening News Rundown. Thank you, as always, for tuning in. And as you know, it is Tuesday, so we have the lovely Jamesia Stoudemire bringing you the Entertainment 4 for 4. Good afternoon, Jamesia. Hold on 1 second. We can't hear you. Got to get your lovely voice in there.
Can you hear me?
There we go. Yeah.
Hey, how are you guys doing today?
Doing great. Thanks so much for being here. Always good to see you.
No, definitely. Thanks for that breaking news of that bomb. That's very shocking. And I'm sad the Cardinals are leaving St. Louis, but I'm always going to go away, but it's okay. All right, let's get everyone started with Entertainment 4 for 4. My name is Jamesia Stoudemire, and I am tuning in from sunny Los Angeles, California. So let's get it started today with number 1, how to use Instagram Reels, the TikTok alternative. So today, guess what? Instagram, once again, has cloned another app. So as many of you are familiar with TikTok, and you can see kind of here in the pictures, this is what Reels will look like on Instagram from your camera perspective, as well as when you're actually in the phone, if you just check out those images there. But really what it's doing is it's a similar thing to TikTok. It allows you to record a 15-second video to music or audio that you can share on your story. So as we all remember how stories got started? It kind of was a Snapchat thing, along with filters too. So Instagram being a big giant, they are able to, recreate technology and make it their own. And that is what they have done with Reels. They actually tried to do this prior with another app called Lasso, but it was only functional through Facebook. So a lot of people, of course, there's more users on Instagram compared to Facebook, and it wasn't integrated into Instagram. So it didn't really go as well. So now they're launching Reels. Right now in the US, there's very, very limited users, and more so they've released it to verified subscribers and large TikTok or maybe Triller influencers to help largen those number of real users, which is not surprising with TikTok having as much scrutiny from being under investigation to being under investigation of the Committee of Foreign Investment. So they're being investigated by that, but at the same time, they may be purchased by Microsoft. So who knows what's going on in this war, but definitely keep your eyes out for Reels. And if you're really into social media, go ahead and check out and learn more about it. I got to learn about this article through techchurch.com. Alrighty, guys. And number 2, Dwayne Johnson now officially an XFL co-owner. Alrighty, so I don't know if you guys ever got a chance to ever peep this, but if not, the XFL is Extreme Football League. So it was a couple different rules, very similar to indoor arena football. They give you a little more extreme, and especially now adding in the co-owner of Dwayne Johnson being from his wrestling background, The Rock. You smell what he's cooking. So it's going to be amazing. I'm pretty sure there's not too many details, but it was estimated to be a $150 million company or $115 million buy-in. And actually, it has 8 franchises, and this year they only played 5 games before COVID-19 hit, and they actually had to shut down the league. And at this time, they actually released all their employees. So that's really great that Dwayne Johnson will be coming in and bringing those jobs back for those people, as well as just making it better. Because once you get a little bit of The Rock in it, it always goes with success. Alrighty, let's go to number 3. U.S. Marshals auction off Fire Festival merchandise. So who remembers this highly publicized legal case where Billy McFarland, this guy to the right of Ja Rule, which they actually have partnered up in, Ja Rule says, he didn't know some things, but Billy McFarland, he knew he was scamming. So he got over $26 million from sponsors and 100,000 ticket dollar sales that he just fraudulently scammed, knowing that the Fire Festival was not going to happen. So this took place about 3 years ago. So as of today, the marshals are now putting 126 items on auction. So we have a couple of things here: a $300 baseball cap with the logo. We have $100 for 2 wristbands, and they have a blue hoodie that's gotten the most bids right now. And if you're interested in actually getting in on this action, the auction is going on until August 13th, and you can actually bid online. You don't have to be there in person, but it's through Texas-based auctioneers, Gaston and Sheehan. So if you are looking to get you some of that epic historical information, as you know, Fire Festival definitely had everyone involved, from Kylie Jenner to the beautiful models to Blink-182. It was just crazy. And even Netflix and Hulu made documentaries on it. So if you want to get on that action again, go ahead and check out GastonandSheehy.com, and they can get you some of that cool merchandise. All right, and number 4. Electronic Daisy Festival in Las Vegas postponed until 2001. So I know Electronic Daisy Festival or Electronic Daisy Carnival is actually kind of originator of Florida, but it has now moved on. It has several different locations, but the Las Vegas one, due to COVID-19 and no large group gatherings are going to be allowed in the state of Nevada, there will be no Electronic Daisy Carnival, which I know that bums out a lot of people. I'm sure there'll be some online Zoom events that are taking place, so make sure you hashtag on Instagram or search that through your circles, but unfortunately, we're going to keep it safe. All right, guys. Well, this is Jamesia Stoudemire, and I want to thank you once again for tuning in to the Entertainment 444 on Florida National News. Back over to you, Melissa.
All right. Thank you so much, Jamesia. Always a pleasure to have you on. Stay safe out there.
See you guys later.
Take care. All right, guys, that does it here for us at the Evening News Rundown. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, be sure to like, follow, and subscribe. You can find us at Florida National News on Facebook, on Instagram, and on YouTube. And when you're on YouTube, be sure to also click the little bell icon to get all the notifications for all of our shows. As you heard us mention before, we offer 5 of them. So you'll get all the notifications for all of them. A couple of our other Facebook pages include FNN News TV and FNN News Live. So be sure to go ahead and like those pages as well. And a quick reminder for anyone looking to sponsor any of our shows, be sure to shoot us an email at ads@floridanationalnews.com for more information. We'd love to get started with you. In the meantime, guys, continue to stay safe and continue to follow the news reports. The Beirut story is unfolding, so we'll continue to keep you guys updated as well. So stay tuned on FloridaNationalNews.com and our Florida National News page for more updates. Take care. Have a great rest of your Tuesday.